of you than there are seats. So, first come, first served. So, just want to say welcome to this afternoon. This is our first class of Momentum Mobile Accelerator. Just to help you orient yourself, the restrooms are located at the very end of the hall at the left. We'll keep the bar open for food and drinks. Just please mind the noise, you guys can. My name is Mario Tapia, and I head up Momentum along with Artie Merritt, which is out in the back over there. This is basically our first class for Momentum. We started this as an idea back in January, and got it completely put together in a couple of months. And we're glad to have a couple of our companies presenting tonight. I'm going to come up with an overview of what the program is. So the team is basically made up of I, Artie Merritt, Greg Prosel, who does our operations, and definitely the team has a really good background in the mobile space. I think I have almost 14, Artie the same thing, so is Greg. He's a dinosaur in this industry. We also have Ryan Bloomer, Mike Chen, and Mike Rao as part of the organizing team. And a little bit about what Mobile Monday. Who knows what Mobile Monday is? Who doesn't know what Mobile Monday is? So Mobile Monday is a global meetup, and we focus on mobile technologies, and we've been doing this since 2001 around the world. We're about 140 different cities now, and we are a nonprofit. The Accelerator program, what we put together was there's a lot of flavors. There's the early stage startup, basically that does a lot of classes on Startup 101. And through our experience, we found out that there was also a need for startups that had already graduated Y Combinator, already graduated 500 startups, had a good team, had a good product, but then where do you go from there? And the idea was to help these companies in the class to do some deals. So basically, leverage the network of about 50 plus mentors that we have, and basically present them with a very large BE team. We organize weekly workshops because we also wanted the teams to, in the model, do a once-a-week engagement, basically all hands, get everyone together. We also provided dinners for the mentoring and networking. And we also had corporate days for our sponsors. So our sponsors were able to meet one-on-one with individual teams to talk about their pain points and see if there was any mutual ground that we could possibly do a deal with. At a high level, we had some pretty good courses. We covered marketing. I think we had a really good class on negotiations, monetizing, analytics, UI, UX, legal topics. So a lot of it had to do with more of the growth of the company, as opposed to just founding and structuring it, and really helping them, even talk about an exit strategy with an M&A. A lot of the applicants that we looked for were basically, at least 2 people, shipping a live product. So we wanted to see something that was in the market, and at least with this group, we found mostly everyone makes revenue. Most of them are having revenue, or some of them really need funding. We also wanted to make sure that someone else is also foolish enough to invest in them. So we also had that bar of we're looking for at least a seed round of investment, or either graduate of one of these the early stage accelerator programs. And we looked at the team, we looked at the product, we looked at market viability, see if there's traction, also fit for the mobile industry. So some of our partners and sponsors, and this is kind of critical because this is essentially a zero equity program. So we take nothing out of the startups, and it's completely funded by the industry. And so Samsung, Intuit, PayPal, WGR, and also Rocket Space came in to help us at least get this kicked off and launched. We also had a really good group of angels and mentors that were supporters. So on the VC side, and this is just a few, we had SV Angel, Shasta. So most of these VC companies met individually with one-on-ones with our team. in the class to go over and see if there's any investment opportunity. Also give us some feedback. But also we had a really good mentorship team. And I couldn't name them all, but here's a very quick look at some of the brands that are engaged with our program, and it's growing. An overview of the spring class. So this is kind of what it looked like on the application side. We did 3 weeks of marketing, so we almost had about 100 applications within a 3-week time, and it was definitely a global engagement. All through Western Europe, Latin America, Asia, as well as, and it probably typically for most of the global accelerators, it's usually like 50% are going to be US based, and the rest is the rest of the world. But we're still working on that. We're trying to get more global engagement. At a high level, here's the class of spring 2013, 5-run logo. And so 5-run actually does a really good in-store experience. It's not definitely a point of sale, but it also just enhances the retail experience for consumers, and they're focused on high-level brands. Localizer is location-based analytics, and so they look at big data on the location side for predicting to actually looking at where audiences are, not only on an average, but also by time, as in an hour, during the days of the hour. And Orbeez has something really cool that computer vision. So very Terminator-like for facial identification as well as logo identification. And you'll see in the presentation what they do. We also have Pocket Math, and Pocket Math is, and really, and there's a whole new generation of mobile advertising. So this is the next gen of advertising, which is using demographical information and other metadata to actually do better targeting. So brands and agencies that are actually doing the advertising get a better engagement through their campaigns. And also we had Squirrel in the program, providing a new experience for discovery video. And during the program, we got, these companies got a lot of press. So Orbeez was in TechCrunch, we had Squirrel was also in TechCrunch, and Localizer was also named one of the top 25 startups out of the UK. So definitely, at an overall, I think we did a really good selection of the class, and they're actually pretty awesome. Fall semester applications are open. So over the weekend, we relaunched the application site, and you guys can check it out at momentum.mobilemoney.us for more information. The class is going to run from September 23rd through December 6th, and the deadline is September 3rd. So if you guys are interested, also tell a friend about the program. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'm also going to have Joya kind of talk about the space and welcome you to the
Hi everybody, just a brief welcome to Swissnex. I don't want to interrupt the flow here of mobile-related exciting stuff, but just so you know where you are, this is an outpost of Switzerland, actually, an innovation outpost. We have 5 Swissnexes around the world, in the hubs, major hubs of innovation around the world, and our goal is to connect Switzerland with our host countries around innovation. And in this case, actually, here in San Francisco, we work particularly with startups, which is relevant to you. This is why I'm mentioning this. We run a program that is an US market entry accelerator for startups out of Switzerland. The most promising technology startups get to spend 3 months here, and we work very closely with them in achieving some milestones in order to facilitate their US market entry and eventually maybe make it into an awesome program like Momentum. So if you have any questions about Swissnex, feel free to contact either me, my colleague Siri, who's right back there, sort of managing the sound, or my colleague Sarah, who's out there at the door. And yeah, let's get started. Welcome.
So are we on neutral ground here? Is that?
Actually,
we can do anything we want. Diplomatic immunity.
This is actually funny because one part of our office literally is neutral ground, but not this. This is public space.
I get a silo.
For those of our Edward Snowdens among you, you might want to go one floor. Okay, enjoy.
Thanks, Jared. All right, so I'd like to introduce Fabian from 5-Run, and he'll be the first presenter. And give Fabian a hand, guys.
Okay, hi everyone. Thanks everyone for being here. And I guess before we get started, first off, thanks to Artie, Mario, Ryan, Mike, and everyone else who organized Mobile Monday and the Momentum Accelerator. Thanks to all the mentors. I think the most valuable thing that you can give us is, sure, money's nice, money helps, but ultimately it's your time, right? It's you took time away from your families, from your friends, and your day lives to help us, so thank you. So, getting started. So yeah, I'm the co-founder and CEO of Fibron. What do we do? Well, let's talk about a typical retail experience. Who here hasn't been inside of a store? You walk up to the salesperson and let's say you hold two blenders in your hand. You try to decide, why does one blender cost 50% more than the other? They both relatively look the same, right? And you find the salesperson and you show them the blenders and you ask them, which one should I buy? Then they grab the blenders and they read the labels, the same labels you're reading 30 seconds ago, right? I mean, it's frustrating. You expect them to provide data to you to help you influence your purchase decision. Or how about this scenario? You're in the store and then you find a salesperson and you say, okay, I like this blender, but do you have it in white? And they say, yeah, we do, but it's in our online store. You can go online and buy it. You're at the physical store, right? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? Ultimately, that leads to a frustrating experience for us as the consumers, and that's lost revenue for the actual retailer themselves. So what we do is we provide a SaaS platform that empowers sales associates to make them more educated and help them sell and provide a better experience for you as a consumer. So what many people actually call as the Apple Store shopping experience into the physical brick and mortar stores, right? That's kind of said it in a quick nutshell. But before going on to the problem and the product and all the good stuff, a company's nothing without a strong team to actually bring it to fruition. So I'd like to go and talk a little bit about the team. So myself, this is my second startup. The first I led to a successful exit via acquisition. And then I spent 4 years at IBM helping run a line of business and kick off a line of business that was focused on innovations in payments. So I was specifically working with retailers, and this is where a lot of this foundational concept behind Fibron came from. Christian, who's sitting in the back and also speaks German, so he'll go to contribute later if you want to practice your German with him. He's Mr. Retail. He's been on the other side of the fence. He's worked for Louis Vuitton, Christian Dior, top-tier retailers. He knows how they think, and he's managed sales organizations successfully within that. And he heads up our biz dev. Brandon and Erkong, they respectively manage product and technology. Both bring backgrounds from mobile payments. For example, Brandon was employee number 14 at OblePay, which raised $120 million and was a strong leader within the mobile payment space. And Erkong has worked at startups ranging from seed stage to Series C. Now going back to the problem, the simple fact, what it boils down to is, when you look at brick and mortar retail versus e-commerce, brick and mortar retail can never compete sustainably against e-commerce, that's pure play, on price alone. Never going to happen. But they have two main advantages that e-commerce does not have, which is their people and their properties, right? So essentially, every day at every store, at every retail location, when someone says, do you have X product? And they say it's on an online store, 80% of the time, they've lost that revenue now. You're going to go buy it somewhere else, right? So they're bleeding revenue every single store, every single day. Some estimates are that it could be up as high as up to $10,000 per store location every day. Ultimately, when I kind of boil all of this down, it's disconnected from the way our online lives live. I mean, how many times do we make an expensive purchase of a vacuum cleaner or something else for $500? What do? We take the receipt and we put it in a shoebox. Or even better, if we're high tech, we take a picture of it, right? It wouldn't be better if it was simply emailed to us, right? Again, the receipts is not the problem, it's the experience that's disconnected from us as consumers. Obviously a big problem, so how do we help solve this? What do? We arm the sales associate with a tablet. So you walk into a store, they have a tablet. From that tablet, they have their entire online and offline product catalog there. You want to buy something that's directly on the shelf, they scan the barcode, gets added to a shopping cart. And then the sales associate could upsell you on perhaps something from their online-only catalog. They could add that to the shopping cart. You swipe your credit card once, you walk out with your in-store product and your online product gets delivered to your home, or perhaps if you're using eBay now, or if that's part of it, then they can be delivered even the same day, very quickly. What that does is help capture future revenue. I mean, how many times have you guys been at a store you're not ready to buy a ring or a watch or something, maybe it's a present for somebody, and you're there to shop and investigate. Well, the retailer can capture that via wish list for you, right? Which helps create the bond between you and them. And none of this would work if it didn't actually sync with the retailer's existing backend. So we have plugins that work with the retailer's existing inventory management, finance, and other existing systems they have in their environment. Also, too, more importantly, we don't force the retailers to use our payment engine, but rather synchronize with what their existing payment provider is. And then we link the transactions to a specific customer. And then lastly, there's a dashboard, so you as a sales associate, you can see how much you're selling versus your goal versus the other associates within your store to help kind of gamify those sales and actually, again, the whole goal, increase sales per sales associate. So obviously retail, massive market, very archaic, but what have we done to penetrate this market and make traction? Short story, at the very bottom of the list, what you see there are platform partners that we're working with. So these are companies like Microsoft, SAP, and IBM that have similar visions, and we're partnering with them at some level to help bring our solution to market and complement their existing solutions. Second tier, those are customers we've signed. In other words, customers paying us revenue that are working with us, and in some cases, in live stores already, or soon to be. Next stage are other partnerships of companies we're working with that's in the retail ecosystem. And then the stages as you go higher, those are customers that we're in negotiations with. So some of the next customers we'll close will be Coach, Verizon Wireless, probably say Office Depot and Sunglass Hut or among the closest there that we're moving towards. I think every startup always says we have a billion-dollar-plus market opportunity. I like to start from the bottoms up, right? So the way I define our market is there's approximately 1.5 million retail stores within our target market. Target market meaning high-value retail. Think bridal, jewelry, electronics, fashion, things along those lines. Things where there's a consultative-led sale. There's typically on average about 10 associates per store. So and our business model is SaaS, sold per associate per year as a subscription. So that creates obviously a very interesting market opportunity for us in the future. Diving a bit more into our pricing, so we price it again per associate per year. The different tiers actually denote the different the models of support that they can actually have and the plugins to their existing backend. In the future, obviously lots of opportunity as we start to scale. We could give away our platform for free and just charge per transaction or a percentage of the transaction. There's a number of other products that we have in the works and based off this platform that we'll bring forward. Okay, so what does a competitive landscape look like? So on this side of the table, you have IBM, SAP, all of the big guys, right, who ultimately can do anything for anyone for a price, right? But large price and long implementation time. And I know that. I've spent 4 years at IBM helping sell similar solutions. Now, at the bottom tier, you have the SMB players, the guys who are focused on the coffee shop down the street, the boutique fashion store, or someone along those lines. And they provide, on top of payments, they provide inventory management, finance, even employee clock in and clock out. Fantastic if you're the boutique, not so good if you're a retailer with 10 stores. You have all the solutions. And you're probably not about to rip out all of your existing technology to now base your entire business on a small startup, right? Where we play is in the enterprise space and SaaS. We plug into what a retailer already has. And so what we've done is cut our teeth on developing this proprietary platform, which we call Citrus. And this proprietary platform has plugins so that out of the box, our technology will work with more than 70% of typical retail frameworks that already exist in the marketplace. Things that are from, for example, from NCR, SAP, and Microsoft Dynamics, among many others. So a couple of key milestones. Last year in November, we presented at CloudBeat. We were one of 9 companies to be selected for that. Then in March, we reached first revenue with Macy's. Then in May, we got selected for the Momentum Accelerator. Then in June, we closed our first international customer, which is Moss Boss. So for those who are from the UK, you'll know who Moss is. For those who don't, think of Jose Bank, high fashion, men's suits and tuxedos, that type of thing. And then now, in July, we've opened our seed round, and now the first couple of investors from an institutional side include the ex-CEO of Macy's and also the next senior VP at Gap, who helped grow Gap from 20 stores to where they're at now. So I predict they'll be pretty helpful towards our future growth. Lastly, when it boils down to it, you can buy a hotel room from your phone. You can even pay for your food. But when it comes down to retail, it's still one of the last trillion-dollar industries that's very conservative, and it's in the right opportunity for disruption. I think we've assembled the right technology, the platform, and most importantly, the people to actually capitalize this and bring it to market. So thanks.
Do you want to do a couple questions? Are there any questions for Vivian? Yeah.
Yes.
Sure. Hey, just a quick question on your retail customers. How many of them are looking to you for some self-service experience or concerns about it, as opposed to going to a sales associate, empowering their app or tying in this inventory management to their, say, the Macy's app, or something they have in their hand, or take up a tablet or
You're actually hitting on something pretty key. So I would say pretty much every retailer who we talk to, everyone has that mentality right now in terms of how do they actually reduce the square footage of their stores and use technology to increase sales and ultimately bring the same experience we have into the smartphone of the actual user. So I'd love to sit down with you and explain what we're doing in the next phase of our development. This is what is now. The next phase is even sexier, I would say.
A question. Do you integrate with POS systems?
Yeah, that's one of the points of integration, including, for example, Magento and other e-commerce platforms.
Hey, looks really cool. So I'm wondering if, when you get this out to your clients, is all of the information always siloed, or are you gathering it all and doing some data analysis of everything that you've got?
No, great. So what we do on the data is we have these plugins that do the synchronization between all the different platforms. So let's say Magento, MCR, that's maybe one of the point of sale, and all that data gets accumulated into our platform so we can take their product information, so the pictures and information, vice versa, push the transactions. And then they have a unified view from a management portal where they can see the transactions that have happened, sales per associate, so on and so forth.
Any more questions? Great. Awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
So you guys in the back, we have a couple more seats here in the front, so don't be shy. If you guys want to sit down, you guys can rest up here.
Hello, my name is Alex, I'm co-founder of Wacamizer, and I'm very excited to be here. Thank you, Mobile Monday Momentum guys, for this opportunity. What's Wacamizer? Well, we are all about location data. In one sentence, Wacamizer is a B2B location analytics startup that discover audience for relevant targeted. So why location data is so important? Well, the beauty of it is that it's generated across multiple verticals. There is plenty of data to take advantage of. So, to better illustrate what I mean by that, let's have a look at some use cases. So, there is Bob is a very active social media user. He has accounts with Foursquare, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, etc. And there is also Jane. She's more in voice calling, text messaging, and occasional browsing. And finally, there is Joe, who goes cashless whenever he can. So when he buys stuff, he tries to pay with his plastic or mobile payment application. So the question is, what do they share in common? And the answer is that they all leave digital footprint linked to physical location. The point I'm trying to make is that location data is exploding with every day. And the question is, how can location data benefit both business and consumers? So, and this is where Locamizer fits very nicely, because we believe that location equals your identity. And what I mean by that is that places we visit on our daily lives define our real-life preferences and interests. And at Locamizer, we actually spent over 10 years of scientific research on cell behavior in nature. My co-founder, Dr. Palikov, was first to successfully describe and explain how cells behave in time and space. And now we apply this discovery to explain how people move around places, how people behave around places. So if you know and have location data, it can be win-win for both companies and consumers, because if you have location data, you can use it to better understand who your customers are. And if you know that, you can make your offers more relevant for them. And it will benefit consumers because they will enjoy the more relevant services, more relevant advertisements, more personalized coupons, etc. So the question, how do you do that? And the answer is that we've developed our product, which we call Audience Discovery Engine. And it's the world's first audience discovery engine to use proprietary nature-inspired algorithms to explain people behavior. And what it does, it takes all kind of data, location data. It can be explicit or implicit data. It can be Foursquare check-ins or very inaccurate mobile operators' GPS coordinates. And it analyze it, and on the output we have individual user interest profiles. And to explain what I mean by user interest profiles, let's have at one study we did with location-enabled tweets from London area. But I repeat, this data can be from any source. It can be from Facebook or from mobile operators. It's not limited to Twitter. So what we did, we took over 300,000 tweets from roughly 66,000 users in December-January timeframe from central London area. And that's roughly about 10% sample size of all geo-tagged tweets in that time, in that area. So what we did in step one, we identified user behavior patterns based on the location of tweets. And we did that for each and every user out of 66,000. And then we translated the data into user individual profile. So on high level, the user profile looks like this. It's a list of interest categories. And for each of them, we assigned affinity score. So the higher the score, the more interested you are in this activity. And this list of categories can be broken down in more granular stuff. So, for example, eating and drinking in tier 2 category can be coffee shop, restaurant, pub, etc., etc. And tier 3 it might be Japanese restaurant or Italian restaurant, and so on. So this is what we can do. Just to repeat, we can create individual user interest profile that can be targeted with more relevant offers. But what also we can do is aggregate this data, and I want to show you some demo site. And so what we did with Twitter data, once again, we aggregated and extrapolated that data on a map. So this is a map of London, And here we have a list of interest categories. So we can choose auto category. And what we did with that map, we broken down it in small pieces. In this case, it's a hexagon shape, but it can be any kind of shape. It can be square, and it can be any kind of size. But for this demo, we just chose 500 meters. So now this map shows the interest in automotive category, and the darker the red areas, the strongest interest can be found in that areas. So you can zoom in and zoom out, and also you can put some filter and see the interest in automotive just from, let's say, from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m., right? Oops. So Wi-Fi might be a little bit slow. And then the basic idea is that you can see how the interest changes with the time. So you can choose any time of a day or a week and see the interest-based heat map. If connection allows, I want to show how this interest changes dynamically every hour. But if it takes more time, I just skip it. Oh, I think it's better skip. Good. Couple seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it takes more time, so I'll skip it. Oh, here it goes. So you see how with every hour here, the interest changes. Okay. I always go back to presentation.
The option tab.
Okay. So hopefully you got the idea what we can do with location data. So to summarize, we can turn any kind of historic location data into user interest profiles that can be later targeted by businesses with more relevant offers. So also we can aggregate location data to provide detailed, rich and contextual knowledge of location. And we understand how people and place interests change over time. And right now we are in an experimental phase. We have several commercial rollouts coming up this month and next month for geofencing targeting campaigns. And we are also looking for partners, for exclusive partnerships in every vertical. And this fall we're going to raise money. So if you're interested, please contact me. Thank you very much.
Any questions for Alex? Questions? Cool. Next we have me from Mobius.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having us. Thank you, Mario. Thank you, Artie, for organizing the great program, and thank you everybody for coming here. I'm Nate, I'm the CEO of Orbius, and we want to help computers see better than humans. Orbius is a computer vision company. We've developed this integrated visual recognition engine that is capable of recognizing human face, object, and scene all together in both photos and videos. And based on this backend engine, we've launched this API platform, recognition.com, for developers to solve their problems with photos and videos. So this is already online. And we're also talking with larger companies about technology licensing and customized solutions. This is very briefly what we do. And before going into the real stuff, I want to also introduce our team. So we not only have very strong academia background from Harvard University and Boston University, with all these advanced degree teammates. We also have very strong industry development experience from Google, YouTube, product management experience from Apple, and also big data analytics experience from Visible Measures. Altogether, we have 20 years of combined experience in computer vision and 9 patents filed in this vision. So very strong and balanced team. And why are these young guys getting together to do this stuff? It's because we see a lot of demands going on in this space. First, let's talk about photos. We're taking more photos today than ever. Take Facebook, for example. Back in 2008, Facebook had 10 billion photos, already making it the biggest photo hosting site back then. But today we're taking more than 10 billion photos every month and upload it to Facebook every month. And the same thing is happening with videos as well. More than 72 hours of video content is being uploaded every minute to YouTube. Think about the magnitude. And the problem is that the computers can hardly understand these content automatically, while this content is consuming more than 80% of today's internet bandwidth. That's what we see the market is at its inflection point. Not only from the demand side, we see the explosion of online multimedia content. Also, we experience the rapid growth of smart devices with cameras, like smartphones and Google Glasses and wearable computing devices will be the next wave. And also the growing needs for big data analytics. But we also see a strong wave in the supply side. It's the improving computer vision algorithms, like the deep learnings, artificial neural networks, all these stuff. And also, actually, 5 years back, there were already very good computer vision algorithms. But back then, because the complexity of the algorithm, there was hardly any solution that you can actually utilize this algorithm in industry large scale. But today, with the increasing connectivity of devices and also the increasing computing power in the cloud, it makes not only the cloud solution not only possible, but also very economical to do. That's why we came in with our cloud-based image and video recognition engine to help computers understand the metadata behind the multimedia content on the internet. For instance, this is our recognition website. And if you upload a photo to our website, we can tell you, hey, this is a photo about beach, because we analyze it. It has water, it has trees and sand. And we change it to another photo, we can tell you this is most likely a food photo. And our engine has been trained to understand more than 40 different categories of different images. And by providing this information, we believe our technology can help people make better decisions. For example, this is the Facebook album page of our co-founder TQ. He loves vegetarian food and uploaded a lot of vegetables and salad photos to his album. If Facebook could ever know his food preference from the photos he uploaded, they would never keep pushing the steakhouse ads to his homepage. So this is the missing information I was talking about. And our technology can also work very well with video advertising. I want to show you another video from last year's series of poker game. As you can see, there are quite some logos at the back end of the room. And I want to ask you this question: which one of the logo would get the most exposure where this program is aired on TV? Well, everybody has their own different theories. Somebody say in the middle, somebody say logos on the sides, but nobody knows it for sure. Let's watch a clip of it. So as the program rolls, our technology is capturing the lens exposure for each logo. And without our technology, there's no way to quantify the difference exposure for example, ESPN and EA logo. But with our technology, you can. And here's the result. It seems that EA got the best exposure, right? 7 minutes and 20 seconds. But our program actually told us this CTU logo actually got almost twice as airtime as EA does. But where does this logo even come from? It actually comes from the hat and jacket of this player. It wasn't even from the billboards. And this possibly told us that for this type of event, it would be better for you to send in a player wearing the logo than having to bid for the billboards. I believe advertisers would love this idea. And our technology can not only work with photos and videos on scenes and logos, we can also do real-time detection of faces. So there's another demo that I want to show you. Basically, this is an iPad app that we developed in-house. With this app, you can turn your iPad camera into a face reader. Without telling any information about this guy, you can roughly tell how old this face looks like, whether it's female or male, whether it has glasses on or not, and all these facial expressions, like whether he's smiling or not. And I'll play this video. All these figures will change in real time while it changes facial expression. Eyes closed, smiling, emotion goes up, and mouth open later, and the mouth open will go up. And all these computations are done in the cloud, and the iPad app is just a representation of the results. And some of our developers are using this technology to help them with their applications. For example, there is one developer using our technology to incorporate into their offline application, which does the camera-enabled ad panel. For example, if you're showing an ad panel in a shopping mall, with traditional ad panel, just showing random ads, no matter who is watching the ads. But with our technology, they add on a camera onto the ad panel, and whenever there's people showing in front of the ad panel, the camera captures the face without actually telling who the person is, so it has no problem with the privacy, but they start analyzing. If it's a 25-year-old female, it will show, for example, cosmetic ads. So this actually brings the online use of profiling marketing techniques into the offline marketing with this enabling technology. So we've talked a lot about technology, and we're very confident about technology because we've incorporated a lot of very advanced recognition algorithms into our backend engine, and we built this technology completely cloud-based, so it's very fast and can be scaled up very quickly and infinitely. And we use a lot of machine learning algorithms, so it's very smart and gets smarter every time you use it. And that's why we have developed this API platform for developers to use us, because every time our developers call our APIs and send pictures for us to analyze, it actually helps us to train our backend engine. So since the launch of last August, we've got more than 1,200 developers using our technology. And the peak API calls they call us is 3 million times every day. It means that every day there are 3 million pictures uploaded to our engine. And it means that our engine is being upgraded and trained 3 million times every day. And that's very key actually for us to stay at the top of this technology market. And to protect our intellectual property, we've already filed 2 provisional patents and 10 more in the pipeline that we're currently filing. And with this technology and the API and technology licensing business, what we envision as is we want to build a one-stop shop for computer vision technology. What do we mean by that? Of course, we currently have face, scene, logo, and we're adding more categories of computer vision to help computers see better than humans. OCR, we detect characters. Body gesture, we not only detect face, also detect whether, if you're not facing the camera, we can detect this is a human being, and also product. So these are on our roadmap. And we want to build the best backend technology, and based on that, we build product services for people to use our technology. currently we have API platform, and we are launching different SDKs, like PHP's, iOS, Android, so it's easier for developers using our technology. And we're building controls on websites and browsers and vertical application solutions, so actually enterprises and customers will actually be able to use our technology. And from there, we're actually getting tons of data from our users. Already we've accumulated more than 30 million faces since April. We're building more organized databases like logos, celebrity faces, and scenes. And with these data, we can actually feed into our backend engine, so to actually create this positive feedback cycle. And if we're building the smartest brain on the internet to actually understand the multimedia content, with all these data, we can actually, not only the brain is smart, it's also very knowledgeable. So that's the vision that we have for the company. And thanks a lot for Mario and all these colleagues in Momentum. We actually achieved quite some good milestones in the past few months in different pillars that we have for our business. So for product and services, we launched our API platform version 2. And we launched our API SDK for Google Glass, because we believe it's a very, very good device for computer vision technology, next generation. And we're launching our very cute alarm iPhone app. I have some more words to say later. And we signed a technology licensing deal with online album company here in the Bay Area. And for backend technology, we've upgraded quite some times with our face part, and we're adding more later on. And we've built some other things on the data part, so that we're creating this image database supply chain for the data to come in and to be utilized by our engine. And a few more words about our updates. So this is our version 2 API platform. So it's a brand new UI design. And we're building a lot of account management analytics tools. So every time our developer is using our API platform, they know every hour who are the customers or who are the users calling our APIs and where are they. And we build this advanced face control panel so that they can build their own face database for them to train their machine and for them to use in their applications. And we've also launched this API SDK for Google Glass. So it's a very small video. So basically, with this SDK, it works very well with Google Glass, although it's still not commercially launched. But we take the lead to actually help the glass to have this computer vision technology to understand the facial information. If you share with our API built in, we can tell you roughly like the age information and emotion information with the picture that you just took. And also we can count how many faces are there. And also we can understand the scenes. That's outdoor building, all this kind of stuff. And with this, it's actually very interesting. Before we launched, actually Google banned the facial recognition technology on Google Glass because somebody thought it was quite creepy to actually understand people's face using this Google Glass technology. But we actually took another route. We didn't incorporate our recognition part, but also just analysis part. We don't tell you who the person is, but we provide anything possible information of your face from our technology. So this is the recognition API SDK for Google Glass. And also the Rackle Alarm iPhone app. It was actually just launched this morning. Everybody could download it from the Apple Store now. So basically this alarm is a very simple idea. The only way you can turn off the alarm is every morning when it shows up, you just take it and stare at your iPhone camera for 5 seconds or 10 seconds. And after that, that's the only way you can turn off the alarm. So it really forces you to wake up with your eyes open for a period of time. So it's, just some people would be very annoyed, but it would be very effective for you to really wake up. So that's some score app that we developed. And one way to actually show how our technology can work, the other way is actually we'll do this to show our developers how they can use our technology to build this innovative applications. And also the backend technology updates. A few already launched, analytics APIs and face search APIs, and a lot more in the pipeline later. And quite some media coverage already in the TechCrunch, Tech News Daily, and quite some mainstream Chinese tech media as well. And what's good for us is we just closed our seed round financing in June, and we're looking a little bit more, 300,000 to give us more flexibility to scale faster. So if anybody is interested in investing, we can definitely talk more later. So that's Orbius, and we're dedicated to help computers see better than humans. Thank you very much.
Any questions for Neil?
So you mentioned you had about 1,200 developers?
Yes.
And so I see that you're licensing your API?
Yes.
How many of those people are paying the full? How many paying customers do you currently have now?
Currently around 30.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're using a freemium model. So basically they have a certain amount of API for free. And after that they have to pay for the API, the number of API calls they call us.
And are you focusing your marketing and sales on a particular vertical for this?
Currently, for the API part, no, but for the licensing part, yes. So we're currently talking with different device manufacturers to work with the cameras and also the online photo management and social networks to analyze their photos and videos.
Good.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
Hi, you showed us the iPad app that analyzes picture in the flow and recognizes the face.
Yes.
How much bandwidth on average does this kind of thing require?
You mean for the
Yeah, because you said all the
network?
computations are in the cloud, right? So there's
Yes.
there must be a way for the iPad app to send some
Yes.
metadata or the picture to the cloud. So how much data is it actually?
Well, so it's actually pretty small. So for every picture, we crop the face, so we're not sending the full picture back. That's first. And second, for every face, we resize it. So for each face is about 5 kilobytes to 10 KB. So it's very
Okay.
small.
So like 5 kilobytes every time the app decides that something possibly changed, right?
Yes.
Not for every frame.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Thank you.
No problem.
Any more?
I have a question. So you said each month 3 million picture uploaded, is that right? Or each week?
That's each day. That's the
Each day.
peak number that we got. Yeah.
So, I mean, usually what kind of picture are they? Like, I mean, you know, in which, what I'm trying to get is what kind of applications, you know, your developers currently using your technology
Yeah.
to do?
So there are a large amount from current online social media sites, like different dating websites are using us, analyzing their users' photos. That's first. And second is the some of the offline camera players that I was just describing. And third part is actually the some marketing agencies that are using our technology to analyzing the marketing campaigns, the photos that they got from virtual cards. And some of the mobile applications actually, there's one mobile application is working with photos, categorizing photos, and using our technology to actually help them add more metadata into their photos so they can better organize their photos for their consumers. So different areas, yeah.
Any more questions? All right, Casey.
Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, my name is Casey and I'm with Montgomery. We do real-time bidding for mobile advertising. So as Mario mentioned, it's kind of like the next generation of buying and selling mobile advertising in applications or mobile websites. So, as mentioned, we are the world's largest, as of now, pure self-serve mobile demand-side platform for real-time bidding. We make it easy to buy smartphone and tablet ads, ad impressions in apps, games, and mobile websites, and everything is in real time. And when I say real time, it's within 100 milliseconds, we're able to buy an ad impression. So through our one platform, you get access to all worldwide inventory that's sold through RTV for mobile. And we have no minimums, no commitments, and no license fees to start buying advertising. So for example, we're a DSP, we integrate with SSP, and everything is managed through RTV. So what does this all mean? Essentially, we are called the demand-side platform, and we integrate with what's called supply-side platforms, so SSPs. And these are also can be called ad exchanges. And these ad exchanges integrate with different publishers, for example, Angry Birds or Fruit Ninja. As we integrate with different ad exchanges, we get access to all the different inventory sources available through each exchange. Right now, we probably have about 100,000 publishers to buy from. If I'm not mistaken, it actually could be 1 million. But so everything is transacted through RTV. So what that means is, as you're a user and you open up Angry Birds, if you'll notice an ad that pops up on your screen, that was actually bought, by us or someone else within 100 milliseconds. So as you open up the app, it sends a request to the exchange. The exchange sends us a request, and we have 100 milliseconds to respond, determining how much we want to bid for this impression, whether we want it or not. And that's determined based on our system, whether we have campaigns in our platform that are interested in purchasing this ad. So the benefits of RTV. You can cherry pick impressions. So you buy each impression that you see, versus an ad network, for example, you're buying ad impressions in bulk. For here, you're actually purchasing each impression that matters most to your campaign. So if you only want iOS impressions on Wi-Fi devices within this GPS targeted range, we're only going to purchase those impressions. So you eliminate a lot of wasted ad spend. You could do frequency capping across exchange. So what that means is, as we see a user cross exchange, we'll only cap that user per campaign by advertising, right? So if you're an advertiser and you only want to show someone a specific device, your ad 10 times or 50 times will have a cap, right? So we actually default it at 10, but some advertisers set it to 2 or 3. Dynamic pricing. So each ad is purchased individually, as I mentioned. So based on a lot of historical information, we can dynamically price each ad and try to optimize your ad spend. Cross-exchange buying. That's essentially the basics of as being a DSP. So we are integrated with around 10 and integrating with more every month exchanges, and you're able to buy through our one platform every inventory source available across exchange. And the data transparency, you have transparency on everything that you're buying, down to how much each ad impression costs you on which application in which country, for example. So some of the features, we have real-time analytics. So if you just refresh the page, you'll see in real time how much you're spending across any exchange, across any device. And we have an exploratory interface, and what that means is you can forecast what your budget how many impressions are available based on your criteria that you're looking for. So for instance, we have about 50 billion impressions per month worldwide, and you're able to kind of break it down to see, for example, if I want to buy impressions in Vietnam, how much inventory is available, which publishers are available. Hyperlocal targeting. So a lot of our customers are using GPS-enabled buying tactics. So essentially, they just upload a list of GPS coordinates to our system, upload their ad, press the submit button, and within about 5 minutes, they're able to buy impressions based on that GPS coordinate with a specific radius that they set. We've just launched API access to our system, so you can programmatically create all these different campaigns through an API without actually having to go through our interface to do it. Another feature is worldwide reach. So obviously we have billions of impressions across the world. So you just select any country you're interested in, and you can start buying ads in any applications out there. Retargeting. This is something that we actually just launched this week. So you may be familiar with retargeting on desktop, where essentially by cookies someone follows you around. Let's say you visit Amazon, and then a day later you start seeing a specific Amazon product following you around. This is essentially the same thing, but it's actually through device, and it's by device identifier. So for example, if you're playing a game, the game company actually will upload all their device identifiers to our system, and will only target your device. You know, a use case can be, for example, a game is interested in giving. So for example, you started playing a game, you stopped playing the game about a week ago, and they want to target everyone who stopped playing the game, you know, 1 week or 1 month ago, and to get you to re-engage with the game. So they can essentially just retarget you over and over anywhere you are on the web or application. Cherry pick publishers and self-serve. So our entire system, as I mentioned, is self-serve. Right now we have no managed aspect to our platform. So you essentially just get your account, you upload your ad, you ask for credit, and we make sure you can pay your credit. So let's say you want $20,000 or $100,000, we will grant you it. And you essentially just start picking and choosing what you want to buy, and you launch your campaigns. So as I mentioned, we're about 50 billion monthly worldwide impressions. These are some of the ad exchanges that we're integrated with. I don't know if anyone's familiar with a couple of these. Targeting. So what you can do is you can target based on location, correct, right? So down to city level in any country, or GPS coordinate. Device, you can target by a specific device, so a Samsung Note 2 or an iPhone 5. Device operating system, so if kind of at high level, I just want a BlackBerry or iOS or Android device or Windows device, you can target. A specific category, so the categories of applications. Time of day, cherry picking apps, so what that means is essentially, if you only want to spend, you want to spend $10,000 on buying Angry Bird traffic around the world, then you can just do that. You don't have to essentially buy all this traffic and hope you get X% of your spend in Angry Birds. You can just essentially say, I only want Angry Birds traffic and I'm willing to spend all my money on it. You could choose by exchange you want to buy from, ISP targeting, or Wi-Fi carrier. So if I want to target someone playing through India on Wi-Fi device in Singapore, you can set that up. Some of the sample customers. So for example, Use is a hyperlocal GPS targeting ad network, and they purchase all of their inventory through us. So essentially they go out to brands and say, hey, for example, I think they're doing a campaign for Subway. So they sell Subway on this hyperlocal buying and the dynamic creative units, and then they essentially just upload it all through us, and then we power all the buying. A lot of other type of advertisers are very different. So for example, Uplift, it markets games and tries to drive installs for games. So through buying banners, they're trying to install, drive installs for, let's say, Candy Crush. It's a big game right now on our platform. I know a lot of different other type of companies that essentially are ad networks who are buying our traffic and then reselling it to their customers, and trading desks, kind of the same thing. What is our model? We take 20% of your ad spend. So it's very basic. If you can commit to a large monthly spend, then we give you a discount. Otherwise, it's about 20% of your spend. About us, we're a team of 12. We have over 100 customers. We're entirely bootstrapped and have raised no funding. Revenue is doubling every month, and we expect to hit 1 million by the end of this year. We are expanding into Japan and China at the start beginning September, and we've kind of been in Japan, and we're located in San Francisco and Singapore. So that is it. If you have any questions.
What are some of your top customers, and what segments are you coming from?
So I would say it's kind of broken down like 20% of each segment. 20% would be customers who are doing hyperlocal targeting. The other 20 would be app developers and games, so they're trying to drive installs. The other big percentage is on trading desks. So trading desks can be working with agencies or brands, and they're essentially they optimize DSPs, for example. So they don't have their own technology, they use our technology and other competing technologies, and they essentially buy inventory through us and other means. Ad networks are looking for different pockets of inventory that they cannot service their customers in. So for example, they might buy China traffic or Thailand traffic or Malaysia traffic through us, and then just resell that to their customers. And affiliates are a really big part of our business. So they essentially just grab an account and they're trying to earn a percentage from affiliate offers, right? So Candy Crush may pay out, for example, $10 in install in Japan. And you just have to use a specific affiliate link, get onto our platform, pop in that link, and essentially just start buying inventory in Japan and try to optimize it. They're obviously trying to get it installed, for example, at $1 or $2, and then they make $8 or whatever. So affiliate is a big part of our business. And then one.
So it's a pretty polluted space. There's tons of DSPs right now in the mobile space. If you had to pick like one thing that really sets you apart from everybody else in the environment, what do you think that would be?
I would think it's our ease of access to the system and the API. And then the second one would just be our pricing. So we have like no minimums, and everything is self-service. So anyone can sign up to get an account. If you just want to spend $100, you can spend $100. A lot of the other DSPs out there, require like $10,000 minimum ad spend, and they have a managed aspect to it. So you have to you give them your money, and then they kind of do everything for you. Versus what we do is you don't really give us any money at the beginning, and you essentially can optimize it, and you control every portion of the campaigns that you want to optimize on. So that would be one of the big factors.
Any more questions?
2 more.
So how do you let your partners choose the publishers? Like for example, if I have a lifestyle app, can I choose which publishers?
You want to advertise on? Yeah, so we have categorical targeting. So you can essentially just use our Explore interface, and you can just select which category you want to buy from. So if you want lifestyle apps, you can just select the category. And otherwise, you can actually just go through the entire list of apps that we see, and then select which apps you want to buy, and then just create a list. And then,
so you can choose the app?
Yes, you can choose the app, yes. So that's the cherry picking app portion. And then
we are planning to make one application, and if I want to use your service, how can I know the effect after the advertisement?
So if you're looking to drive an install, you as an application need to install a third-party conversion tracker. For example, Has Offers has a very popular one called mobileapptracking.com. So you install that SDK into your app, and then through that we can track a conversion. So if someone installs the app, if you have a specific link from Has Offers, you just pop into our system, and then that conversion, that install will get posted back to our system. So you'll see how many conversions you're telling.
Go whatever.
One more question. I'm not really familiar with space, but when you do the pitch, you say it's real-time bidding, right? So how important that the feature real-time is for advertised purchasing? Can you explain more?
Right. So if you kind of go back to some of the benefits of RTB, because everything is bought and sold within 100 milliseconds, you're not able to cherry pick which impressions that you're buying, and so you're only buying impressions that matter most, right? So before RTB came about, it was just these really big conglomerate ad networks, and the way it worked is they essentially needed to monetize. Let's say they have 100,000 publishers in a network, and they needed this. An advertiser came and said, "I want to pay X amount," so they'll essentially go to all the publishers and say, "Okay, we'll give you, let's say, 30-cent CPM for your impressions." And they sell the advertiser at $4 CPM, for example. So their margin is incredibly huge, and then that $4 CPM, they spread it out to all the different publishers. And so there's a lot of wasted spend, right? So with RTB, you're only buying, as you select your different targeting categories or what you want to target, you're only buying each impression that comes into our system that matches what you want. So you're not buying let's say you want to buy impressions in San Francisco, on XYZ app for only iOS, you're not going to buy any impressions that go to Oakland on Android devices, for example. So you're only buying impressions that match exactly what you're looking for. So through RTB, that kind of makes it possible to essentially get exactly what you want, and you don't waste any more money.
Any more questions? Well, great. Let's give Casey a round. So that concludes pitches for the day. I encourage everyone to hang out. We got the space for a while longer. And also, after party is going to be at Aventine in the basement, so everyone is welcome to come out and hang out. I think for the next, at least for the next 30 minutes, we can hang out here, 45 minutes, and then we can head over by 5 o'clock over to Aventine. And for some more drinks and some more d'oeuvres. But feel free to mingle, guys. I really appreciate everyone coming out for support of the companies. If you have more follow-up questions, these guys are going to be here to hang out. So I encourage you guys to approach them and share business cards. Thank you guys.
That's called Capital Access Series.